Hey there, podcast lovers. Looking for a fresh take on the world? Tune into Nikki's World, where we dive into everything hitting the headlines and chat about just what's on our minds. No filters, just real talk. Whether you're sipping your morning coffee or unwinding after a long day, Nikki's World is your go-to for genuine commentary on the real world. Subscribe now if you want to hear the real deal on what's going on. Join the conversation on Nikki's World, where every episode feels like catching up with an old friend. Don't miss out.
What's up, y'all? Let's do this.
Oh, hi guys. Welcome to Nikki's World. I'm Nikki, your host, and today, guys, we gotta talk about how fucked up liberalism is when they're defending America's enemies. We got a good example of this, and we're gonna talk about that on the show. But before we go any further, guys, if you guys love Nikki's World so much, seriously, y'all, can y'all please consider donating a cup of coffee for me? Because for the price of a cup of coffee at Starbucks, Dunkin' Donuts, and Cumberland Farms, guys, you guys help keep this podcast show alive. You guys help me curate more stories, more topics like this to talk about. I do accept Bitcoin donations. I am on Ko-fi, guys. If you guys want to support, sponsor, donate, and commission me for a modeling photo shoot, if you guys love Nikki's World so much, seriously, y'all, please hit that like, subscribe, please give me a review, good, bad, and the ugly. Also, guys, I do have a bunch of affiliate links. First off is Minds.com. Minds.com is a Connecticut-based social media platform. They are an awesome alternative to Facebook. So if you guys value your right to freedom of speech and you guys want to be able to say stuff without fear of being blocked, suspended, or deplatformed, well then, head on over to my friends at Minds.com. So guys, we do have the most awesome, and I mean the most awesome affiliate link with Burner.com. Burner.com is the less lethal self-defense company, guys. They make their top-of-the-line Burner SD, Burner LE, TCR, Mission 4, and their newest, guys, their compact launcher. So if you guys value your right to the Second Amendment and your right to self-defense, but you guys want to do it in a less lethal manner, well then, ladies and gentlemen, head on over to my friends at Burner.com. And full disclaimer, ladies and gentlemen, I do own a Burner LE pistol myself. And finally, guys, I have the most awesome, and I mean the most awesome affiliate link with North Shore Medical Supply. North Shore Medical Supply, they make their top-of-the-line North Shore Megamax diapers, their North Shore Supreme pull-ups, their North Shore Supreme diapers, their Eterna boosters, guys. So if you know somebody out there who needs to wear adult diapers and who needs to be put in adult diapers like I do, guys, well then, send them on over to my friends at North Shore Medical Supply and they'll make sure that they are diapered up and padded up like me. And before we get this show on the road, literally, guys, if you guys love this episode and any of my other episodes on Nikki's World, can y'all please consider sharing this across all the social media platforms that are out there today? Wow, yeah. Holy cow, holy shit. That is a mouthful. That is really, really a mouthful, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, and yes, guys, I am diapered up as always in my North Shore Mega Max diapers with my Eterna boosters. And I'm just wearing a t shirt today, so it's just kind of one of those days. So diapered up, padded up, and let's get on with the shows, shall we? So over the weekend, if y'all were still living under a rock or still basically like on vacation for New Year's, and quite frankly, I do understand from you guys, but what happened over the weekend is President Trump launched a military operation to capture Nicolas Maduro, who is that dictator from Venezuela. They caught him in an overnight, which is like early in the morning raid, while everybody was still knocked out, dead, cold asleep. All right, including me. All right, I was knocked out, dead, cold asleep. I didn't hear about the raid until I woke up, looking at my phone and seeing all these tweets and all these like news blasts coming out of my phone like a fire hose, and holy shit, didn't realize Donald Trump actually captured Nicolas Maduro and basically brought him to New York for criminal prosecution. I mean, holy shit. Yeah. And then what happened afterwards, guys? When libs heard about this, they started protesting that no war, no war. We're not going to another war. We're not going to another war for oil. Trump didn't even put troops in Venezuela. This is the problem with liberalism. Liberalism is they don't think. They don't use their brain, and they're only told what to say, what to think, and what to believe. They don't have what I call, guys, critical thinking, common sense, logic, and reasoning skills. They don't have those four things in life, guys. So what happened is like this. You got liberals around the country chanting anti-war, thinking that we're going to war in Venezuela. We hadn't even set a single U.S. troop in there. We just sent Delta Force, Army Rangers, and the Night Stalkers in there, captured Maduro, whisked them out. We didn't even stand on foot in there. Yeah. Next thing you know, the people in Venezuela who were basically under the dictatorship of socialism, communism, were finally free from this guy, but then libs are like up at arms defending him. What is a stroke of master genius here? He got libs to defend socialism and defend like socialist dictators like Nicolas Maduro. He got him to defend him, and now Operation Let Them Talk, let them speak, is exposing them for who they are. And this is glorious, guys. This is more material than I can ever handle. I mean, for Christ's sake, it's going going to probably take me years to dissect all this material, but he actually got libs to defend socialism and communism. Holy shit. And he exposed them, which is like, wow, holy shit, goddamn, man. He got them to defend it. Really did. It's shocking to say the least, you know. It really is. But quite frankly, now you got protesters at what? The federal detention center in Brooklyn protesting for the release of Nicolas Maduro. You got leftists protesting this? It's like, wait, isn't this now the current thing? So now they dropped Hamas like a hot potato, and now they're defending Nicolas Maduro? I'm telling you, man, liberalism is so fucked up. Liberalism is so mentally insane. It really is, man. It really is. Liberalism, they defend dictators. They defend terrorists, okay? They defend like men who think they're women or women who think they're men. This is why liberalism is always on the wrong side of things, whereas people like you, me, and everyone else in this country, we're on the right side of things. And you know what's kind of funny with liberals, especially white liberals? They can't come up with a logical thought. They can't come up with why they're protesting against like Trump, why they're defending Nicolas Maduro, socialism and communism in Venezuela. They can't come up with an original thought. They have to come up with something that only their handlers are telling them to say. Basically, like what? They're paid protesters? Yeah. The funny thing about this, guys, and the funny thing is, these people, no matter where they're protesting, in Boston, New York City, Miami, Chicago, Los Angeles, San Francisco, or Denver, Colorado, they're all protesting with the same sign. There's no difference. They're obviously being paid to protest. Many of these people who I call like lazy bums are just being paid to protest whatever the current thing is, which I believe right now is what? Venezuela? Okay? Because how many people now how many leftist liberals have string of what virtue signaling devices on their profile? Like what? Like what? A trans flag, an orange block, Hamas Palestine flag. Now Venezuela. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, these people are mentally insane. These people are basically off their rocker. Okay? The fact that they're defending like terrorists is like, it just goes to show, guys, that liberalism is so mentally fucked up. It really is. It really is. Because I'm going to tell you this. Guys. Liberals can't learn to agree and disagree. They can't come up with an original thought, original idea. They can't come up with their own placard or their own protest sign. They all have to have the same signs that you see in Boston, New York, Chicago, Washington, D.C., or Los Angeles or San Francisco. They all have the same printed signs. Yeah. So they can't, so they're being told what to protest, who to defend. That's why liberals, man, they don't know how to think for themselves. They don't know how to think. They don't have these four skills, which are what, ladies and gentlemen? Logic, reasoning, common sense, and critical thinking. They don't have these because they threw away. Just like how they went, cut open their head, took their brain, and threw it in the trash. That's what liberals are. They're brain dead because they can't learn to think. They can't learn to reason. They don't have like logical thinking. All they have is whatever some paid activist group is paying them to think, talk, believe, and behave. That's all it is, guys. To me, these people are dumb. These people are stupid. These people are so effed up. They're so effed up, ladies and gentlemen, that it's not even funny. It ain't even funny at all. These people who protest like for pro Maduro, pro socialism, pro communism, these are white liberals who live in upper class communities with well funded schools, well funded police departments, with well funded education system that gets them into these liberal elite schools. These people wouldn't even last a fucking single day in Venezuela. These people would not even last 2 fucking seconds in a communist country. But yet they all talk about wanting to bring communism and socialism in America, but they don't want but here's a but. They don't want to live in that. Okay? Because you know why? They want to talk like they're big and bad. They want to talk like they're the shit. When in reality, they ain't the shit. They're just like whiny little scrawny little bitches who basically, guys, they want to act like they're big, bad, and tough, but when they get their ass punched in the face, they run and cry like the soy bitches that they are to their mommy and daddy and then crawl right back into their basement. That's the reality. That's the same with Andy and Brandy Tifa. They all talk like they want to be all big and bad and all this shit. But when they get knocked out, punched, beat so bad that their shoes get put on a telephone line, and they cry like, oh, they hate me. It's because you know why? Because you want to act like a bitch. You want to act like you're big and bad and all this shit. But then you can't defend your position. Okay, you can't defend what you say, what you stand, what you believe. When people challenge you and knock the living effing motherfucking shit out of you, you cry to your mommy and daddy. Yeah. Yeah. This is why I often say like this. White liberal and white liberal women are the worst fucking human beings on the fucking face of the earth. That is a fact out there. Because you know why? White liberals and white liberal women will throw everyone under the table just so they can appease their special interest group, which is what? The trannies of Andy and Brandy Tifa, and basically their minorities. Yeah. But here's the funny part of all this. These white liberals, and especially these white liberal women, who all talk about minority empowerment, talking about, oh, no one's illegal, or, oh, well, we should free Palestine, free Palestine, and all that shit. And then now they're talking about defending, like, Nicolas Maduro, like, socialism and communism in Venezuela. But you know the problem is? Talk is cheap, bitch. Talk is cheap. They talk like they're the shit, but they can't act like the shit. Or as they say, everybody wants to be gangster, but when it's time to do the gangster shit, they run like cowards. They really do. And these people who talk like, oh, we should free Maduro, free Maduro, free Maduro, and then latch all the social justice warrior woke bullshit cause to Venezuela like Palestine and Gaza. Let me tell you something. These people talk like they're the shit, but in reality, they ain't the shit. And as they say, for me coming from living in the 80s and 90s, you talk shit, but if you can't defend your shit, you get your shit knocked in the head. Pretty much. Pretty much. That's like that everywhere in that's like everywhere in the housing projects in the inner cities. All right? That's like that. My apologies, guys. I almost sneezed. Okay, guys. My apologies if you heard that like me like trying to sneeze. I do apologize. But I just want to say like this, guys. Libs who try to defend their shit, who think that America should be a socialist, a communism country. No one should have private property. Well, okay. Then give up yours first before everybody else does. This is why I see Andy and Brandy Tifa, a bunch of soy bitches who have the weakest form, who think that they can beat people. But I'm telling you what, but when you get somebody who's bigger, badder than your ass and knocks your ass so far upside the head that by the time you wake up, you're pissing blood in the hospital, tell you, man, libs don't understand how the world works. They don't. And you know the funny thing too? They think the world works in their own warped mind. They think that like the world operates like, oh, everybody's kumbaya. Oh, men can be women, women can be men. No one's an illegal immigrant, or like there's free Gaza, free Palestine, or free Maduro. So let me guess: are you gonna see these liberals come out with Nicolas Maduro T-shirts or Nicolas Maduro posters promoting socialism, communism in Venezuela? And the funny thing is, they're all doing this while living in their upper middle class community. Gee, I go like this: if these people are all for socialism, communism, like in Venezuela, how come they're not moving over there? How come? They all talk like they want the shit. When it's time to get shit, they bow down and chicken like the cowards that they are. To me, guys, to me, I'm gonna just say like this. I'm gonna just say like this. Liberals who are defending Nicolas Maduro, socialism, and communism are the most fucking retarded assholes that I have ever seen on the face of the earth. They are so fucked up, so retarded that they don't even fucking know what they're defending. They don't even fucking know what they're talking about. All they're being told is by the people who are what? Professional agitators, professional paid protesters. That's who they've been told by. And they're even told by what? The legacy media of what? MSNBC, CNN, aka the Communist News Network, or the Washington Compost, or the failing New York Times. That's who they've been told. And many of these liberals will say like this: Oh, that wasn't real socialism. It wasn't real communism. Yeah, and many of them will try to like basically shut up the Venezuelan people saying, oh, these people are living delusional. They're not. They're still living in communism. No, they're not. They're free. Once we took Nicolas Maduro in Venezuela, they're free. But then the libs don't want to see that because it destroys their ideology. It destroys their bullshit. And I'm telling you this right now, it destroys them so much that it ain't even fucking funny. It ain't, guys. It ain't. It destroys them so much that they don't want to face reality, okay? They hate reality so much that they hide behind so many walls, so many mirrors that once you take that all away, they got nothing. They got nothing. Yeah. That's why I go like this. I look at what happened over the weekend when Trump went in and actually got Nicolas Maduro and dragged his sorry little carcass to New York. And mind you guys, Trump locked him up in the federal detention center in New York City to send a warning and a message to Mandani and all the world leaders at the United Nations. And that message is fuck with us and we will send Delta Force and Navy SEALs to your bedroom, and when you wake up, they're going to be pointing M4s right at your face. Yeah, that's the message that Trump sent, and that's the message he sent to Mandani, to all the world leaders at the UN, by saying like this: "Fuck with America, and I guarantee you, we will be doing the same shit to your ass like we're doing to Maduro." Maduro is a how am I gonna say this in naval Coast Guard speak? 3 shots across the bow. Trump just literally sent 3 shots across every world leader's bow, saying that fuck with America. Those 3 shots we aimed in front of your bow could be aimed a little closer. And to me, guys, that was a stroke of master genius right there. That is a stroke of genius because by sending that message to Mandani, which is what? He's the mayor of New York City, who's also what? A communist and a socialist. He sent a clear message to him saying, what we did to Maduro, we can do the same to you. So don't fuck with me, or else we can do the same. And Trump said that. Trump is a master genius. He sent that as a visual message and a visual deterrent to world leaders saying, fuck with America, we can do the same thing. So basically, ladies and gentlemen, America's back. America's back in action, look, folks. And I'm telling you this right now, every world leader, including Iran right now, is probably scared shit knowing that what? U.S. Special Forces could be could be in their bedroom with an M4 looking at them saying, hey, wake up. And then whisking them away to like what? Some aircraft carrier, some amphibious warship steaming away. Yeah, that was the best powerful message in the whole wide world. Trump sent that message, and you know what? Every world leader and every dictator is already going like this. Let's not fuck with Trump. because I don't want Delta Force or SEAL Team 6 in my, because that's what every dictator is probably saying to themselves right now. They're going like this. Well, let's play it quiet. I don't want what happened to Maduro happen to me. Especially to the dictators in Iran. Because I'm telling you right now, if Israeli special forces don't do it, probably US special forces will. But I guarantee you, if they do it, it sends a powerful message that says, fuck with America and we can pull the same shit to your ass. And I bet you every dictator right now is probably like going like this. Check my closet. Check under the bed. Make sure there are no special U.S. special forces under the bed or in the closet. They're probably doing that. But I'm telling you, man, if Chuck Norris was sent in there, oh my God, before we even fucking started, it'd be all over. It would be all over. But in any case, guys, I think like this. Trump is a stroke of genius. He locked up Nicolas Maduro in New York City to send a message to world leaders at the UN and to send a message to Mandani. That is a stroke of genius. He didn't lock him up in Miami, which I think he should. That would have basically get him a trial that we want, but to do it in New York, uh, even though I still have reservations about it, but I do see the stroke of genius in Trump. I do see the logic, the reasoning behind that. I do see the fact that Trump did this for a reason. And if you understand the reason behind it, it is a stroke of genius. As for the people of Venezuela over there, they're free now that Maduro is out of the picture. They're free. Yes, a lot of people are going to be pissed that the U.S. is going to help run that country until they get a transitional government that can take over. Okay? It's going to take some time, but we all know Secretary Rubio is up for the task. We all know he's up for the task, and we hope he can do his best to help smooth things over. Like basically like this. We hope we get Venezuela back to a free and prosperous country like they once were, before socialism and communism ruined the whole shit. Okay? But I know this for a fact. We have not set one U.S. soldier on Venezuelan soil. We have not. Okay? We haven't. All right? I don't know where the left thinks that, oh, we're gonna go to war. Oh, we're gonna put troops on the soil. We have not, ladies and gentlemen. We have not. And I don't think Trump wants to set US troops on Venezuelan soil. Sure, maybe at the US embassy in Caracas, like for people guarding the embassy over there, that may be the only troops, but not on the streets of Venezuela. No, no. It's gonna be a nice orderly transitional of power from a socialist communist dictator to a democratically elected process in that country. But I will say this: it is going to take time. And a lot of libs think that we're going to put troops over there or we're going to go there for oil. I don't know about that, but all I know is Venezuelan people are free from socialism and communism, mhm, which is a good thing. And I'm telling you this, at least the people of Venezuela are free now. Unlike the left, who wants them to live under socialism and communism, but they don't want to live themselves, which is kind of ironic. How these people who think that, oh, socialism and communism are great, but then they're doing it in their nice little upper class like community far away from what's actually going on over there. Yeah, funny, isn't it? Funny, you know? Funny how they like to live like that, but they don't like to actually live like that. They don't. And that's kind of scary. That's kind of scary. But you know, the one thing is like this, and I'm gonna say this, I don't take them seriously anymore. I just laugh at them in their face. I just laugh at their lack of intelligence, their lack of like common sense, logic, reasoning, and critical thinking. I laugh at that because you know why? These people don't even have that. They don't even have the brain cells to think that, oh, we only went in to take out a dictator, but we're not sending troops in there. Well, I'm gonna tell you this much: we're not gonna send troops there. We sent troops to Puerto Rico just to send him a message saying, if you don't talk Turkey, we're coming after you. And boy, did they went after him, and boy, they really did. Right now, Nicolas Maduro is sitting at a federal detention center in Brooklyn, New York, and right at the moment there, you got leftists who are chanting to free him, just like the people who are chanting to free man, that guy who murdered that insurance executive. I forget his name, but it's the same thing. Leftists basically support everything that isn't being done by Democrats. Okay, leftists. That's what they do. That's what they're doing. But here's the funny part of all this: leftist politicians and Democrat politicians are pissed, saying, "I didn't go through Congress and tell Congress, oh, Trump violated the War Powers Act." Well, you know why he didn't go through Congress? Because we're not sending troops down there. We're not basically like occupying a foreign country. What we're doing is arresting this guy, and this guy has an arrest warrant. So it's not a war situation, it's a criminal prosecution. Okay? It really is. So I don't know why Congress thinks that, especially Democrats, are all hissy that, oh, Trump violated the War Powers Act. Well, here's the thing. Don't trust you Democrats because here's why. Because you would leak the information. Democrats are big leakers. They leak faster than I leak into my North Shore Megamax diaper. They leak so much into it that it ain't even fucking funny. Okay? They leak so much that many times I sit there and I go like this. Are you serious? Are you for real? Yeah, are you for real? Because here's the thing. Here's the thing. The reason why Democrats in Congress aren't being told of what happened in Venezuela, because Trump don't want leakers. Trump don't want people leaking dirty little shit or what's going to happen to their friends at the liberal media. Because they don't want their enemies to be tipped off. That's why, like, when this operation went down, you knew it was kept in the dark. It was kept quiet. There was a deception to make the Democrats think, oh, they're just doing an exercise or training down in Puerto Rico. But they kept it in the dark from the Democrats for a good reason. They didn't want like this. They didn't want Democrats leaking it to their buddies in the liberal media. They didn't want the leaks to come out. They wanted it kept quiet. And I mean quieter than my diaper crinkling in front of everyone. They wanted it kept so quiet that basically like this, there was no way the Democrats could ever find out what happened. And the only time Democrats found out about it was after the fact that Nicolas Maduro was captured, was on the USS Iwo Jima, and was being shuttled back to Puerto Rico, put on a plane, and landed in Stewart International Airport in New York, and helicoptered into New York City. By the time Nicolas Maduro walked into the New York DEA office, that's when the Democrats knew it was all over, and then they were having their hissy fit or their temper tantrum in their diapers that they weren't told about this operation. They were kept in the dark, and they were saying, "Oh, Trump violated the War Powers Act." No, he didn't, bitch. He kept it in the dark because he didn't want Democrats leaking this to the enemy. He didn't want Democrats or the liberal media talking about it and basically jeopardizing the operation and all that shit. Trump is a master genius at this, guys. That's why Trump is like one of those people. If he's gonna do something, you gotta look for other signs instead of traditional signs. Okay, if there is a media blackout in Washington, you know something's about to go down. You know something is about to happen, but you ain't gonna be told what's gonna happen or what happened until after it actually happened. Yeah, that's why Democrats are pissed. And I go like this: cry harder, bitch. Cry harder. And you know why? I'm gonna say this why. It's because we don't like leaks. We don't like people leaking government secrets or government operations to their friends at the legacy media. We don't like that. And you know why? We don't. But I tell you this much, I'm glad we didn't leak it. Because by the time the Democrats knew, Maduro was being handcuffed and escorted into the New York DEA office. And by the time the Democrats knew about it, it was all over. Now you got Democrats who are like basically having a hissy fit, a temper tantrum, a whiny protest, saying, "Oh, we're gonna go to war in Venezuela. Oh, we need to free Maduro. Maduro's a political prisoner or a prisoner of war." No, he isn't. You dumb bitch. No, he isn't. He's a wanted criminal, and they got charges pending on him. Okay, they really do. And then some of these like leftist liberal world leaders in the EU were saying, "Oh, that's not right. Oh, that's not fair." Well, here's the thing. What we did to Maduro, we can do the same to those in the EU as well. So it don't take much, okay? It don't take much, but I tell you this much: what we did to Maduro, we can do to any other dictator or any other leftist liberal world leader. we can do the same to them, and we wouldn't be that much. It wouldn't. But anyway, I want to talk about this on the news that happened today. And if y'all didn't hear or see, Tampon Tim is no longer running for governor of Minnesota. He ended his reelection campaign. Let me see. Gee, does it happen to be because of the Somali fraud investigation that's going on that is connected to him, and the fact that he might too be arrested, prosecuted, and even perp walked into a federal detention center? Could be the reason why he is ending his campaign to become governor again is because he is under federal indictment, federal investigation, and could possibly be arrested by Cash Patel and then perp walked into federal detention center. Let me see. Let me check. Let me check. Let me check my diaper. Oh, because you know why? Could be under federal indictment and could be under federal investigation. Okay, he could be, but you know what? The feds are going to be tight-lipped about this because they don't want to jeopardize the case. Because when they take it to a grand jury, they want an airtight case that takes it to trial and gets a solid conviction out of him. They want him. That's why they're probably being airtight about this. That's why they're probably being so tight-lipped, saying that, oh, we what? It's like what? But then behind closed doors and in a secure room, they're probably saying, yeah, he's under investigation. He's being investigated for the Somali fraud, his ties to it, and all that. We just have to build an airtight case just to make sure that we have a conviction and we have him being thrown in federal prison. But out publicly, they're just going to deny. But behind closed doors, they know that there is an investigation on him. That's why I suspect that he is ending his campaign to run for governor of Minnesota. And thank God for that. That means now no more tampons in the men's room, no more men competing in women's sports, no more men in women's bathrooms. So as soon as his reign is over, that means every Democrat in Minnesota is going to be gone as well. But thank God for that, guys. Thank God for that. And I tell you this much, man. Thank God we don't have to deal with Tampon Tim anymore. But I am going to be glad and happy when he is arrested by the federal government and perp walked into federal detention center. That'll be a day where I'll be dancing in my diaper and t-shirt or diaper and onesie and celebrating that, like, oh man, they finally got Tampon Tim. But yeah, I suspect the reason why he's not running for governor because he knows he's under indictment. He knows he's under investigation, and he knows that there's no way for him to cover this all up. So he knows that he is going to, instead of being in the governor's chair, he's going to be in a prison chair. Okay, he knows that's where it's going to end up for him. So either way, guys, I'm glad he ain't going to run for governor. I'm glad, and I'm glad the investigation is going to keep on going. And I hope we uncover all this fraud that's happening in Minnesota. I'm hoping that we can recover all this money and basically like give it back to the taxpayers that got robbed by these people. I mean, yeah, We got robbed by these people. I say we're owed restitution. Let's take the same BLM line. You know how blacks always say they want restitution for slavery? Well, guess what? I want restitution for all the Somali fraud that we are uncovering, and basically like that these Somali refugees have stolen from me. I want restitution from all that. I really do. Yeah, I really do. Wow. Wow, guys. That was a good long show for you guys. That really was, man. That really, really was, man. Holy cow. Damn, oh, damn, oh, damn. That was a good long show. And yes, guys, my diaper did hold up while doing the show. So anyway, guys, I gotta run because I gotta do a diaper check just to make sure I'm not leaking or pooping. All right. So I want to thank you guys for listening to Nikki's World. I'm Nikki, your host. I will see y'all soon. Bye for now.
You just listened to an episode of Nikki's World. Thanks for listening. We'll see y'all soon. Bye for now.